Well, stocks mostly rising to kick off the holiday week. Yes, trading volumes are low, but after tumbling last week on the Fed's hawkish stance, can we turn it around to finish out the year? Will this optimism continue for the remainder of the year? Joining me now is Main Street Asset Management CIO, Aaron Gibbs. Aaron, look, okay, stocks have been acting a little shaky the past few weeks and are becoming increasingly, as you call, narrow, but do you think we could see a Santa Claus rally to end the year?
I do. I think with the amount of the sell-off that we saw last week, certainly even just a little bit of a bounce or a slight increase for the remainder of the year, like it's been mentioned, trading is going to be light even through the end of the year, not just this week. And so I think we could just see a slow and steady, smaller uptick as we kind of move past the Fed announcements.
Indeed. Investors hoping for, I guess you could call it a U.S. stock market trifecta next year after back-to-back boom years. I mean, how do you see the market acting next year?
Yeah, I'm a little more conservative. I'm more hesitant. We're looking at basically an economy that has been peaking thanks to fiscal stimulus, and that's starting to run out. We're seeing globally a lot of challenges for foreign companies as well as foreign economies. And so I think that it's just going to be more difficult. Now, given that, certainly we are seeing productivity gains in the AI space. That is the one bright spot. But that doesn't mean that every single sector and every single stock is going to be lifted by those productivity gains through AI. And so I think we need to be a little conservative, be ready for some changes, and be ready for some down months, quarters, days throughout the next year.
A little more cautious. All right, Aaron, we get that. Could you take us through some of the stocks you're eyeing and why? Let's begin with Honeywell. What do you think about Honeywell?
Right. So this is being just a really great, stable, sort of best of breed when it comes to U.S. industrials. This is all about resilience, growth at a reasonable price. So this is more your defensive. Like I said, you can't be 100% AI, or well, maybe you can, but let's say if you want to have a more balanced portfolio, this stock is looking at about 8% growth over the next 3 years. We know it's going to be able to weather the storm. It has the cash flows. And so I think is a nice safety stock. It's been consolidating really well, even after the Fed announcements. And so I think it's poised for a breakout. We could consider a steady upstate towards 2025.
Well, diversification, Aaron, is always a good thing. We know that. Let's talk about Caterpillar, a big name. Why do you like Caterpillar?
Similar in the sense that, again, a sort of best of breed defensive stock. I like it because we're looking, one, it is really cheap right now. It got hit really hard last week. Definitely in the oversold conditions. It's trading at about 17 times forward earnings, which is very cheap compared to its peers as well as the S&P 500. But it's looking at about 10% average growth over the next 3 years. So very strong expectations. It has a nice balance of both domestic as well as international revenues. And so I think, again, this is just growth at a reasonable price, high quality, resilient. And right now it's basically on sale.
Very good. It can't be that. Very quickly, Aaron, small caps have been struggling a bit over the last month, but do you still like them here?
I do. I know this is a little more controversial, but again, it goes with the diversification play. These are the stocks that are just so inexpensive and really have good growth prospects. Even if we're facing a bit of a headwinds, there's a lot less downside considering where they are right now. And so I think moving into your small caps is just a good bet for diversification as well as appreciation over the next year. We've really seen a lot of growth already churned out within the S&P 500. We've seen a lack of breadth. We actually do see better breadth within your small and mid caps, and I think it's a safe space.
Very good. Aaron, thank you so much. Happy Christmas Eve. Have a great Christmas.